we can't control the outcome, listen to me, we can't control the outcome, but we can always control ourselves. We can't control the outcome, but we can always control ourselves. And if we can control ourselves, the outcome is a byproduct of that, man. What tension are you holding on to right now? What tension are you holding on to right now? People coming up to me telling, interest rates. Got interest rates, man. I've been trying to find deals with those fucking interest rates. Okay, sweet. Listen, man, the world is noisy. Success is, and what you're pursuing is complicated, man. Because it's hard. This shit is hard, man. I want to be very clear. I posted a video a couple days ago, all teary-eyed. And I had a number of these conversations. I want to just get this straight, man. I'm teary-eyed, and a lot of you, God bless you, man, I love you for this. Coming up to me like, hey, man, how you doing? Are you okay? Let me tell you why I was teary-eyed, man. I wasn't teary-eyed. I was teary-eyed because I was grateful, man. I was teary-eyed because I was grateful. Sat down, trying to figure this shit out, taking actions, trying to dig. If you saw all the notes that I put together, that's how I do it. I dump all this stuff on this paper, right? Of ideas that I could talk about, things that I could, and then I try to condense. But what do I need to do? Listen to this. I gotta figure out what I wanna leave you with. What's the most important thing I wanna leave you with? I have been trying to get to a destination that I hadn't even defined. And then all of a sudden I define it. And it was immediate gratitude. Tears. That doesn't mean I had everything figured out. Once again, I didn't have that shit figured out until I'm winging it right fucking now. Right? But I know what I want to leave you with. What's your destination? What's the mark you're gonna make? Man, I'm yelling at you, make your freaking mark, but what is the mark that you're gonna make? Some of you are trying to make a mark you haven't defined. I talk to people like, man, I just wanna do a deal sometime, or I wanna be able to I want financial freedom. What does that even mean? Get specific, man. Do you wanna know something crazy? I sold myself, I'm not joking when I say this. I'm gonna give you this freaking hack, man, and this secret. I'm not special. One of the toughest, craziest things for me to battle, that I battle every single day, is that y'all paid money to come here to hear me. And Inky and Emily, and obviously those guys, but like me too. And I'm like, well, who the fuck? Like, man, what? Because you know what I've done? The shit that I've done is simple, man. Let me tell you what I did. I started selling myself every single night. I'm gonna do a 20-unit deal. 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 Then I started getting even more detail. I'm gonna do a 20-unit deal by August. And then after that 20-unit deal, then I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna do this. I started telling that story, not just to here, but out here. And guess what my first deal was? A 20-unit deal that, I swear to God, blew my, I got it from a direct mail campaign. The seller sends me the details, 20 units. I was like, oh my God, thank you. It was like, man, what is your destination? You gotta define that, dude. Once again, we can't control the outcome, but we can always control ourselves. We can't control how people respond, but we can control ourselves. That starts with your breath though, okay? That starts with your breath. Okay. Number 2 is the belief, which brings me to principle number 2, which it was a dead giveaway if you hadn't guessed it by now, okay? You shouldn't be in the room maybe, okay? But it's belief, the belief. Nothing happens without believing that you can do it. I'm talking to Malu, man. And he's our best player, man. I calm him down. Now, once I calmed him down, now we can actually communicate. Once he's in control, we can communicate. How many of you have ever tried to control or have conversations with your kids or had conversations with your spouse where they ain't in control? By raise of hands. Brett, get that fucking hand down. Nope. Yeah. Megan's like, no, yeah, keep your hands. If you're with your spouse, don't do that shit. Yeah. It happens, dude, it just happens. But now that he was in control, we can have a conversation. I said, bro, you're the best player on this team, man. You're the best player on this team. How many touchdowns do you have this year? He's like, 5. Yeah, 5 touchdowns. All of a sudden, his belief starts to enhance a little bit, because what's he focusing on? He's reflecting back on the successes that he's had. 5 touchdowns. And I said, is that the most on the team? He's like, yeah. And I was like, but 5? Bro, that's not enough. Only 5? That's not enough. He's like, what? Like, bro, you should get 5 a game. With the skills you have, with the potential that you have, you should get 5 a game, bro. Literally, you can get 5 a game, man. In fact, dude, mark my words. You can get 3 this second half. Have you ever had 3 in a game before? No. Have you ever had 3 in 2 quarters before? No. But listen to me. You can have 3 this half as long as you're in control. You can have 3 this half as long as you stay in control. You have to control the controllables. Listen, I believe that a plan backed by this determination to see that plan through can bring a lot of unrealistic ventures, turn them into realistic ones. You have to have a plan. What was the plan? Stay in control. But he also had to believe, man. I pulled my glasses off. I have sunglasses on. I pulled my glasses off and I just looked him right in the eye. And I said, bro, I love you. And I believe in you. We all do. This whole team does, man. I love you. And I believe in you. And he looked back at me only the way that a child can. And it changed me as a person. It changed me. I saw it. Once again, I don't know what happened at home, but you know that little kid needed to know that somebody loved him and believed in him. That's all he needed to know, man. And he decided to believe. The result, because he decided to believe, because he focused on the controllables, and because he actually took the actions that come with belief, that start with belief, he got 3 touchdowns in the second half. I told him, I said, hey, Marlon, what do you like? What's your favorite thing? He's like, I love action figures. I love action figures. I'm like, bro, you get 3 touchdowns this half, I'm gonna buy you an action figure. You serious? I'm like, bro, I'll buy you whatever action figure. You get 3 this half, I'll buy you whatever action figure you want. You're serious. I'm dead serious, bro. I love you. I believe in you. Go make it happen, man. We need you. 3 touchdowns. We beat an undefeated Lahaina team. Yeah, undefeated Lahaina team. As he's coming off the field and he holds up, but he's holding up number 3. He said, I got 3. Then I gave him a hug. And that is why the sacrifice, whatever sacrifice that I had made to be there, was worth it. And that's one payoff out of a million, dude. Why? Because it was with purpose. It was with purpose, man. But listen, that didn't just happen because I told Malu that I believe in him and that I love him. It happened because he decided to believe and act. He decided to believe and act, man. Like, we have to be willing to sacrifice for the greater good. Why? Because it's for the greater good, man. That brings purpose and value and meaning into our lives. Into our lives, man. As long as we find gratitude from it. So many of us go through the grind and we're sacrificing, but instead of finding gratitude for the sacrifices we're able to make, we despise it. We despise the sacrifice. Let me give you a peek behind the curtain, okay? Let me give you a peek behind the curtain. This was never even on my end outcome, never even there, dude. But how do I go from somebody who lost a house, somebody who was struggling with a lot, to all of a sudden to everything that Devon just talks about and all of this? How do I do that? Sacrifice with a purpose on the little shit. And I understood how to find gratitude, listen to me, man, how to find gratitude in the challenges and the struggles. Because let me give you a peek behind the curtain. It doesn't get easier. Shit gets harder. Problems get bigger. They don't get smaller. You get bigger. Do you want to know how you get bigger? By understanding how to deal with and control the problems that you're having right now at this stage. You think these problems that you're dealing with right now, a broker says no. Who fucking cares, dude? An investor says, I don't think it's the right deal. Who cares? That's why I say, man, listen, we're looking for so many other people to do these actions. We gotta fucking do those actions ourselves. We gotta be those people if we're gonna inspire other people to be those people. Y'all agree, say yes. Yeah. Gotta be those people, man. Listen, putting an event on like this is a lot of sacrifice. Running a business like this is a lot of sacrifice. There's multiple times, I just need you to hear what I'm saying. There's multiple times when I go into my office, and before I started the education business, before we started the education business, I didn't even have an office. Never in my life had I. I don't need to go into the office. I don't have to go into the office. And so sometimes I'll go into the office and be like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I'll get a letter in the mail from one of y'all telling me about things that have been impacted in your life. And then I come here and have these conversations out here and I talk to a team member and it's like, it's sacrifice with a purpose and it's my life's calling and I'll do it forever because it's for a purpose. Because I know that it'll enhance your belief. And I know that when you enhance your belief, you'll absolutely change your life, man. As long as you take the right actions. The future that you're hoping for is there. You'll bring it to you with the right actions today. But we gotta believe in ourselves, man. We gotta be that person for us so that we can show up for others.